Welcome to episode 21. This is Zia, the Mystic Visionary, and I'm here to pick the word for the week. I'm going to open my little box and see what I can find. What word will we have this week that I'm going to meditate on for the new paradigm? All right, I'm rummaging through the little slips of paper, and here's the one I'm picking. The word is family. This week's word is family. That's a really nice word. All right, I'll be back after I meditate. Okay, I'm back from meditation. It was a good one. It was a good meditation. When I think about family in the new paradigm, it's way bigger than what we experience in our three-dimensional world. Because of this idea of unity consciousness, it's that connection to everyone. And also that we're energy beings having a human experience. As an energy being, we are connected to everyone and everything. You know, we are a family of humanity. And the human family. And also, if we take that a step further and you consider yourself a star seed, then you are the family of the star system that you originated from. So we have a galactic family or an intergalactic or cosmic family. We have our energetic family, and then we're brought down to this human family. We're on Earth. As humans, we are all connected. We're in that unity. We're all a piece of one another, sharing a planet. And then as we get in denser and denser form, then our family gets smaller. So then we have our birth family, the people who actually birthed us, and the people who raised us, and the people who are our siblings and our aunts and our uncles and our grandparents and our cousins. That is the most, the densest level of our being. And then we have a family of a soul family, people who are our friend groups, our soul connection family. It's an enormous term. And when I think about family in the new paradigm, that's what I think about. That interconnected web that can actually flow out into the galaxies. That we are this connection of light energy, of frequency, of vibration. It is not something you see in physical. It's a energetic connection, and we are all connected on a really deep level. Interestingly, though, we don't picture ourselves, or most of us have not pictured ourselves as that. We have learned to just be in the physical. That's part of the old paradigm. That's part of what is shifting. And in the old paradigm, we have our genealogy and we have our lineage, and we know who our grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents, and we're kind of obsessed with genealogy, which is really fascinating, and I have been too. I went to that trip to Ireland with my daughter, and we went back 8 generations, and it was in a church in Ireland where my 8th great-grandparents were married that I came in contact with that essence of my 8th great-grandmother, Elspeth. So I totally get that, following your earth-based 3D bloodline lineage. That is a real thing. But we are more than that. And I think that's what's being asked of us in the new paradigm and this new earth that's emerging, to expand our awareness of what family really means and how we interact with one another. And that we need to treat one another or experience one another on that level of how you would experience someone you thought were your family on this 3D plane. It's a more expansive and more esoteric idea of what family is. And I believe that if we were all to hold that space for that kind of idea of family, that we would treat each other way differently than we have in the past. And I know that it exists because I see it all the time. The compassion, the love, the acceptance, the connection that people have with one another when they elevate their consciousness or elevate their definition of family and let it expand a little bigger. That's what I'm hoping people get from this idea of the new paradigm, this new earth where we all recognize that we have to treat each other like the precious objects that we are these amazing, energetic, vibrational frequency beings that are multidimensional. We have layers and layers. I always talk about this, but I really love this concept that Dr. Sue Morter has of this coalescing of energy into form. If you imagine this huge ball of energy that's almost undiscernible as far as the naked eye could see, but then that energy starts to coalesce. It gets gets packed down, and the energy starts to get denser and denser and denser until eventually it becomes a visible entity. And then that visible entity is recognizable as whatever you're looking at. Well, that's what humans are. Our spirit has been condensed, and it is coalesced. The word she uses is coalesced into form. And that's how we are. That's who we are. We're a physical representation of accumulated energy coalesced into physical matter. And if you were to deconstruct that, like we watch these cooking shows, and on the cooking show they do a deconstructed strawberry shortcake. We see a strawberry shortcake, which is a biscuit with strawberries and whipped cream, but then these people deconstruct that, and then they take it and open it up. It's like then it turns into like macerated strawberry syrup. When they do the foam, where they do the I can't even remember the name of the foam, but it's just like so light and fluffy. And instead of a biscuit, they just have a little line of crumbs on the plate. Well, you've taken this, physical representation of a strawberry shortcake, and you have turned it into something else, deconstructed it into it's a different form. And that's who we are. Now you'll notice the noise just changed on this podcast because my air conditioner just went off. So suddenly I'm talking louder. But we have to recognize that about ourselves, that we are in our deconstructed form, in our greater energetic body form. We are just part of this universal energy, not just planetary, but universal. And then we're coalesced into form, and we are born, and as Dr. Morter says, we splat, we blump, here we are, we're born. And then we start looking around like, where am I? Oh, who are these people? they're my parents. Okay, what are they doing? Oh, okay, what are they doing now? Oh, look, they're using utensils to eat with. Look at these things at the end of my arms. I could use those to put them in my mouth and eat. And, we start to assimilate the behaviors and the traditions and the behaviors of the people that we have splatted into their lives. And so we start looking outward, and our whole focus is then shifted outward because we are into survival and we want to survive. So we have to adjust and assimilate to that environment. And doing so, we have lost touch with that greater sense of our spiritual being, our energetic being, that vibration and frequency, which is where we came from. And that is our bigger family. That's the thing in the new paradigm, in this multi-dimensional idea of being an energetic being. We are all connected in this big field of energy. And because we are in form, we only pay attention to the form. And this is something that's been brought to my awareness again recently, where people are trying to understand this vibrational frequency and how to become a vibrational match for things that you want in your life. And in order to do that, you have to understand how to become a vibrational match for what it is that you desire. But we're so accustomed to being in our physical form that we are sometimes unable to become a vibrational match for what we desire because we're too invested in what we see and taste and touch and feel and hear. Our five senses rule us, and then we're looking externally for feedback for what we want or what we see. And instead, we need to understand that in order to really manifest, we have to vibrate at a level that's the equal frequency to that which we desire. And because we're so attached to our physical form, we have a really difficult time doing that. And I think that it says the same thing for family. Our family is wonderful. Our nuclear family, our bloodline family, though that is a wonderful, deep connection. I have that in my world, and I love that. But I also have to understand that I'm more than that, and that I am connected to all the people, this human field of energy, the human family, the universal family. It just grows and grows, that we are the family of humankind, but we're also the family of starseed kind. There are the galactic, I don't even know the words for this, but there's this energy that goes further than just this earth plane. And that is a connection as well. And sometimes it's hard to get your head around that. Or you may be listening and thinking, wow, this woman is whacked. But that's part of what makes me the mystic visionary. I can see this idea, this concept, and a bigger way. And I love my earth family. I love the people in my life, my bloodline and my chosen family, and the people who I'm connected with on a soul level. I have a soul family that I know, people that I'm connected to soulfully. And I think I may have had many lifetimes with those people. And that's an energetic thing. If you believe in past lives, then you already understand this concept. So what we need to do on the new paradigm is to understand that we are much, much more than just the family we were born into, and start to expand that idea and concept of what family is. And imagine yourself in layers and layers and layers of energy. And as you expand in energy, you have more and more connections, and the more and more alike you are with other people. When you do the opposite of what Dr. Mortar says, when when you're condensed into form, if you deconstruct or decondense, the more you decondense, the more you have in common with all the other people, with all the other spirits and all the other energy. We are all connected. We are all one. And I talked about this in the Oneness podcast. If you want to go back and check that out, it was a few episodes ago. This idea of oneness, it's an energy. It's an energy field, and we're all part of it. So in the new paradigm, we honor our blood family, we honor our soul family, we honor our family of choice, but we also recognize that we are all connected, that we are the family of humanity. We're the family of the universe, this universal and galactic family. We're all connected. There is no differentiation. That is just my thoughts on family. Thank you for the person who chose this word, and I think I may have talked more deeply about family than you were expecting. But I'm here to hold space for the new paradigm, and the new paradigm is bringing the unseen to the seen. Like I talked about, that coalescing into form. That's what we're doing with the new paradigm. This shift that's happening on the planet, and all the systems that are breaking down, and all the things that used to be but are different now. It's the breaking up of the old so that the new can be birthed. And before long, when enough people hold space for the new, it will be manifested into form. It will take shape. It's already taking shape. A lot of us can see it, and a lot of us can't, not yet, but it's on its way. So you're part of that family, whether you see it or not. We're all together in this. All right. Again, thanks for the person who chose this word, and there are my thoughts on family. I'll be back next week with another word. If you want to learn more about the new paradigm and my pocket guide to the new paradigm, there's a free audiobook, and it's listed below. It's a short, less than an hour audiobook that will tell you everything about the new paradigm. Also listed below is a link to the Heart Archetype Quiz, so you can take that quiz and answer the question, am I listening to the call of my heart, and find out your archetype. If you want to find out more about this podcast and how it originated, there's a link down there for that too. And there's also a link to my website where you can find out more about me. Thanks for listening. And we'll be back next week with a new episode.